Hey you guys, it's me Roxy coming at you with a new video, and today is the first episode of an ongoing series on my channel called Tuesday Talks. This series will just contain me sitting in front of the camera and talking with you. I guess to you, because you can't talk back through the screen, right? But I'll share my thoughts and my opinions on any topic and ultimately just sharing my heart with you. And that's what I love to do. I love sharing my heart with people. So without further ado, let's get into the first episode. Today is Tuesday, April 28th, 2020, and I want to talk about my hair and autoimmune disease today. It is a rainy day in Houston, Texas at this moment, and if you hear thundering like that, that's normal. So don't mind that, and my AC might come on. So if you hear that, that's okay. Let's go. So for some backstory, most of you are new here and don't know, but I live with an autoimmune disease called VKH, which stands for Vokoyanagi-Henrata syndrome. It affects my entire body. So my blood cells kind of suck and they don't do their job in fighting disease. And I also thought it would be a perfect time to talk about this because of the coronavirus. People like me cannot go outside and interact with people on a general basis. I mean, I still do because I'm pretty extroverted and I love people, and that's probably why I get sick a lot. But we're just gonna skip over that. We can't go out and interact with people on a daily general basis because people like me are definitely more prone to getting sick, and we stay sick a long time, especially me. So my immune system's very low, and I urge you, if you are someone with a very healthy system, please be careful and stay home as much as you can, because people like me, if I catch this disease, this virus, I will die. And I like life. I love life. So let's not do that, right? Anyway, I promise I'm gonna get to my hair. So my immune system sucks, and I can stay sick up to 3 months with just alergia, like allergies, or like the common cold, or like I will stay with a stomach virus for 3 months in bed and just exhausted, not being able to move. And that's not an exaggeration. You can ask my very close friends. It affects my hair. So for the people out there who can see, I want to show you my beautiful white hair. I don't know if you can see it right now because it's kind of like bright in my room right now, and everything just kind of blends in. I don't know, to me, because I can't see. So yeah, it affects that, and I'm already a pale person because of my genes, even though I'm Mexican. And the disease makes my skin even more pale because I don't produce enough melanin in my body. And the disease also affects my eyes, so I went blind 4 years ago, and today the only things I can see are color and ginormous objects with a bunch of contrast. So I can only see a picture frame on the wall if it's black and the wall is white. So it has to be a drastic difference in contrast, and it has to be big. So that's what I can see. I know I don't look blind, I get that a lot, but not every blind person looks the same, just like how not every, like, non-disabled person looks the same. So I get so sick and tired of people telling me, you don't look blind. I know, leave me alone. But so with this autoimmune disease comes problems with my health, and this is where the hair comes in. So the disease only causes my hair to turn white. It doesn't cause me to bald. But what did cause me to bald was the medication I was on back in 2016 and 17. was very hard because this medication I was on falls under the branch of chemotherapy, which I hate calling it that because I never had cancer, but I had to do that stuff, and it's everything you can imagine, what they show, like what people talk about it to be. You throw up, you feel sick all the time. It's absolutely terrible and painful. Like, I would just throw up all the time, and it was awful. And so, not only did I throw up, but I started to bald because of this medication. And it was very hurtful because I've always loved my hair. I've always taken care of my hair. Even when I dyed it that one time, pink and blue, back in 2014, or 15, I don't remember. I did not... I even when it was bleached, like, that's essentially damaging your hair, but I never put, like, disgusting chemically based product in my hair. Everything, I always took care of it. And it wasn't one of those things where it's like, oh, you didn't appreciate your hair and now it's gone and you want it back. Like, absolutely not. I always loved my hair, and that is how I expressed myself through my hair. All of my friends could tell you firsthand, I always changed my hair, and I always put funky bows in it, or just did weird, wacky styles. And most women and girls have their makeup, and that's how they express themselves through makeup. But for me, since I've always hated wearing makeup, and I still do, my thing was the hair and fashion, of course. I've always loved fashion. But my hair was so important to me, and I just felt it was such a part of who I am that I always took care of it. And when it was gone, and it wasn't even a drastic gone, it was, I could feel it and see it leaving every single day. And I would, when that happened, it was absolutely terrible, and I was just so sad because my hair was gone. And I remember waking up every single day and having hair all over my bed, and showers were the absolute worst. I never wanted to shower because when the water would touch my hair and I would have to wash my hair, I just remember getting so scared and have to mentally prepare myself to wash my hair, because anytime I scrubbed my scalp or put shampoo or conditioner or whatever, it was awful. Just all this hair would come on my hands, and just, I had hands full of hair all over the place, and it was awful. And thankfully, well, I guess not thankful, I don't know, I didn't go fully bald, in terms of, you know, my eyebrows didn't fall off, so that's cool, I guess. And the only hair I had left was on the edges of my scalp, so that, it was just so weird because it sucked because my hair was also short, and so there was nothing I could do to cover the balding. And there was so much balding that even if my hair was long, it wouldn't have been able to cover it, because you take a man-sized hand, and I'm telling you, I have big hands, okay, and you just put it on the back of my scalp, all you could feel was scalp, and there was no hair there. And my hair was thinning out, my very thick, luscious hair was thinning out. And it was just very saddening for me. And I also started wearing hats because of that. So now when you see me in my videos, most of the time I'm wearing a backwards cap, or if I'm outside, I'm wearing a sun hat or a straw hat. I just love hats, and I guess that's something good that came out of it, that I realized and figured out that I love hats. And so, where was I going with this? One sec. Okay, I got it now. So, I started wearing hats because I remember all the other kids in school, because I was in high school at this time, they would make fun of me because I was balding, and I had already been bullied a lot in middle school because I was considered an old soul because I've always loved classic rock music. I loved vintage stuff, and then in high school, and like vintage stuff was getting popular, and they were saying things like, oh, you're already like an old person, and like now it's showing on her hair. And I would hear kids say that, like, while I was walking in the hallways, and they wouldn't tell me directly, but I could hear them. And it was absolutely just, it hurt me a lot. Of course, I didn't show that, but it did. And so fast forward, I got off, actually I wasn't off the medication just yet, but they were, tearing me down. Eventually the medication stopped working, just altogether, and I was having progress with my health, and then all of a sudden it just stopped working for me, which sucked because that was the only thing that was working for me at the time, and still to this day all medications have failed me. So, but I remember this one time I was with my aunt, and she said, "Look, Mija, like, oh my gosh, your hair is growing back." And I got so angry and frustrated. I didn't tell her anything. I didn't show that I was frustrated with her. But I just felt like she was saying that because she felt bad for me, and I didn't want that. And I even contemplated shaving my hair and having just bald head, because I would rather have had myself controlling the situation than having no control, because I've always been a weirdo, and I was used to being made fun of for being a weirdo and just like dressing weirdly and not dressing like all the other kids. And so those comments didn't bother me, because it's like, I don't care, like, I chose this. And what did bother me was when kids were making fun of my baldness and I didn't have a say in what was going on. And it's like, I wish I could just shave my head, because then it wouldn't bother me, because I'm like, yeah, I chose this, who cares? Like, but it hurt because I had absolutely no control over the hair thinning and balding. And so my mom was for me shaving it off, and then one day she said no. Like the day of that my dad was gonna shave it for me, she said no, it's gonna grow back. And I was so angry. I was screaming at her, and I was like, why would you do this? Like, let me shave off my hair. And she's like, Mija, like, it's gonna grow back, don't worry. And I mean, I appreciate her now, because it would have taken a lot longer to grow back had I shaved it. And so eventually it started growing back. And January 17th was the first time I noticeably had hair growing, because I could feel it. My baby hairs were like 2 inches long, and it was the greatest feeling ever. And I wish I could show photos, but this is on my phone. I'm filming on my phone, so I don't know how to edit on my phone. I only know how to edit on my MacBook, because it has all of my accessibility settings on there, so it's hard to edit on here. But whew, yeah, it started growing back, and I'm so happy to say that now my quote-unquote baby hairs aren't so baby anymore. Like, literally, I'm getting a piece of my hair from the top of my scalp, and my hair is right under my chest and right above my rib cage now, and I'm just so happy, and I couldn't be happier, because I know it seems so superficial and that it's just hair, but for me it was just more, because my hair had always been something that I was so proud about, because I always took care of it, and it was something that I loved, and I always cut it and did weird things. And so now that I have my hair back, I can't imagine cutting it. And so I've only gotten, trims here and there, but I've never drastically cut it like I used to in the past, because I used to always drastically cut my hair and just do weird things. And now it sounds so crazy, but I can't cut my hair willingly, because I just feel this attachment to it now. And I know it's so weird, I'm sorry, but I don't know if it's just like the Native American in me or something, because in Native American culture, it's like long hair represents strength, resilience, and perseverance, and all of those good traits. And I feel like my hair represents that. Like, my long and thick hair represents what I have gone through and all of the trials that I have had to endure. And it's like I'm wearing it on my head. You know how they say, like, you wear your heart on your sleeve? Well, I wear my past on my head. It's not that I'm living in the past, it's just that I don't want to let go of that, because this is part of me. I'm so attached to it. Like, I've been through so much in terms of health, that I can't let it go yet. It's not something I want to do, and I'm not ready to cut it yet. And I just don't see myself doing that anytime in the near future. And so I'm very happy with my hair, and maybe one day I will cut it, but I don't see myself doing that at least for the next 5 years. And so yeah, thanks for listening my hair story. And I love my hair, and it's white, it's black and white, so it's like salt and pepper. And sometimes people still kind of make fun of my hair, but I really don't care because it's just so beautiful to me, and I love it, and I just love touching it. I love putting my hands through my hair, and I don't know, it's so beautiful. Like, I love it. And I wish all of my blind friends could feel my hair. And if we ever do a meet and greet, you guys, for my blind friends out there, I will let you all touch my hair. So yeah, that's it. I just wanted to talk about my hair and give you a hair update. That I'm happy to say that my hair is now very long and luscious and thick, and I still take care of it to this day, and I keep it all natural, and very happy. So thank you guys so much for listening. I know this was a very long video, but I just had a lot to say about this whole thing. And yeah, I love you guys so much, and Jesus loves you more than I ever could, and don't ever forget it. Mwah. Bye, you guys. Stay groovy.